Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Craft Tube. This is the day in the life of, so I'm getting my morning started off. Paige is here, my caregiver, and she is changing the dressing around my feeding tube, and I'm going to tell you, it looks wonderful. It is not red, it is not, stinging, burning, and hurting and all that. It looks really good. That is not always the case here. So it'll look really good for a few days and then it'll flare up and look horrible, ugly, angry. But I'm thankful for today that it is looking good. So she's just wiping around it, cleaning it. Okay, here Paige is such a blessing to me. She really is, and I appreciate her so very much. I wish that I could afford to pay her more than I do because she is worth it to me. But anyway, she's just adding some powder, and this is some, I think it's a medical powder that she is putting on it, and putting a new dressing on it. We try, keep that dry so it does look its best. And so she's going to be giving me my meds, and I have a GJ tube, so that means the G is in the very middle and the J is on the side. No, I said that backwards. The G is on the side and the J is in the very middle. And so she's putting my meds through my G tube, which goes into the stomach. And so this is what she's doing now for the G tube of it. She's putting in my meds, and sometimes we have to do that kind of slowish because it could make me throw up, and sometimes I do get sick after getting my meds. It just depends. You never know. But anyway, she has a couple of syringes of meds, and sometimes we spread them out. Like she might do a couple of syringes now, let me rest, and then do a couple of syringes later. So in the short amount of time she's here, we try to get as much done conveniently and space things out so that I don't get sick and stuff. So anyway, this is what it's like every day. Just getting the meds in and all that kind of, good stuff that needs to be done. When you have a feeding tube, it's very time consuming and it takes a lot of supplies, the gauze, the extension tubes, the syringes, the meds, and I mean, it's a lot to it. It is. It is overwhelming at times. I will say that, it's very overwhelming at times. And thankfully, I do have Paige. I'm very, very thankful for her. She will be listed in my gratitude book a lot because I'm very thankful for her. And not only that, I like her as a person. And even if she wasn't coming and doing this stuff for me, I would still want her as a friend because she's a very likable person and I relate to her. I enjoy being with her. I wish she could just stay all day with me. But she does stay 2 hours, and we try to get as much done in that 2 hours as we can. So, anyway, I don't know what we were saying there, but I had to do a voiceover because we weren't talking very loud for it to pick up for the microphone. So here, I'm not sure if she was giving another medicine here or giving a flush, but she does at the end, she does have to flush my tube with water, and that just pushes all the medicine through the tube and into the stomach area. So that must have been the flush right there. Couldn't keep up with what was going on. Okay, so I did get sick and had to change shirts. That happens almost daily. It really does. And so now she is hooking me up to my feeding tube, my pump and my formula and all that kind of stuff. And so it goes into the middle section of my button, which is the J tube. So my feedings actually go into my intestines. My stomach is wonky. It is paralyzed. I have gastroparesis. It doesn't work right. But that's not the real reason I have the feeding tube. Is because Scleroderma hardened my esophagus. So I've got this for Sissy. It's called Purr Pops. And so it's salmon flavored and it smells very strong, so but Sissy loves these. So I'm gonna see if she will come up here on the arm of my chairs where she usually comes and eats them. Come on, Sissy. Sissy. Watch out, Sassy. Sassy comes and smells them, but she hasn't eaten them like Sissy does. Sissy can smell it. She is coming, and usually she takes a few licks, and then she just starts biting it. Sissy knows where the good stuff's at. Huh, Sissy? Sassy, like I said, she's licked them and all, but she's not, like, crazy about it either. She is here. I'm not neglecting her. It's just that she's, not that crazy about them. Sissy's over here, like, going to town on that. She took half of it. Is it good? Well, it's gone. Now Sassy's gonna come. But Sissy's already ate it. If Sassy had really wanted some of it, she would have come and got it before Sissy ever got up here. Because she was already up here. But I was doing that for Sissy to try to get her more into coming, you know, up here. And she's still, you know, real uneasy about things. And now we're done. Where'd it go, Sassy? She's like, I know I could smell it. I've had a time this morning with my pump just alarming and alarming and alarming, and it just will not stop. Some days are just like that, and it's just alarm after alarm. I tend to the pump and do whatever it says it needs to be done, and it still just alarms more. Got it back running, and hopefully that will be good for now. You just can't ever tell. These things are so finicky sometimes. I've dealt with fitting tubes for 16 years with Elijah, and then I've had one since 2021, so I've dealt with them for a long time. They just sometimes get in a mood. Sometimes the pumps are moody. Sissy, did you enjoy your sucker? Yeah, did you enjoy your sucker? And Sassy's just sitting right over here. Sassy's like, did I see you pet her? Because Sassy thinks I'm not supposed to pet anyone except her. Huh, Sassy? Sassy, come. Sassy, come. Come on. Sissy's like, I'm here, I'm here. Had a rough morning, but hopefully it's going to even out. I think I'm going to take me a little nappy and then get up and start my day. Paige has been here all morning, and she is so very helpful, and I appreciate her so very much. But it's time for a little nap, I believe. So that's what I'm doing. Laying back in my chair, getting ready to take a little nap. That's my view, besides my feet. I usually cover it with my blankie, but it's my view. Usually have a cat on this side. Come on, Sissy. Sissy, come. There goes my pump again. Looks like that's going to be an all-day thing, so that just gets, you know, it gets old. And now here comes Sissy. She was like, I thought we was going to lay down. I've checked the tubes everywhere. They all look good. Clog in line downstream of pump. I have checked it and checked it and checked it. I'm beginning to wonder if anything is messed up with the tube inside me, because this, let me turn that out. The tube that goes into my stomach, that button, there's a little thin tube that goes through my stomach into my intestines down to my duodenum. So that's where that tube goes, and it's stitched in down there. And I'm beginning to wonder, is it kinked somewhere? There's only way to know that is from like a CT scan. Would have to be ordered to find out. So I don't know. Looks like it's gonna be a long day. If I could get this to work, I could just lay back and take a little nap and then get up and enjoy some art, but let's just see. If it doesn't work this time, I'm gonna have to just turn it off, because I can't figure out what's wrong with it. The tube looks fine. And the tube from here to my button in my stomach looks fine. And this is going into my J tube. That's where I get my feedings at. My medicine's going in my G tube, and this goes in the J. It looks fine. Alright, sissy, come on. I'm gonna hope for the best. And try to get comfy again. Come on, sissy. Sissy. Oh, here comes Sassy. Come on, Sass. Come. Come, Sassy. She went over the back of my chair and is over on that side now. I tell you what, these cats keep me entertained. I don't know what I would do without these cats, because they are very entertaining. She got behind the curtain. She likes to do that. And then jump out on me when I least expect it. I think we're going to settle down for a little nappy now. Sissy's decided to come up here and lay down. Lay down, Sissy. Yeah, lay down, girl. Sweet girl. So I'm in the living room and dining room area. And through this way is the parlor. And that room there's the parlor. You see that blue right back there? That is the door to the bathroom, the one and only bathroom that we have. So you go in through the parlor and to the end of that room, there's the bathroom. Right here, going that way, is the kitchen. And so then I'm in this big room here. And then this way, there's a doorway. The doorway right here, that goes into the den, and that's Big Daddy's room. It's all his stuff in there. It's decorated, you know, hunting stuff, whatever, ducks, deer, stuff like that. It's his room. His desk is in there, his dresser, his recliner, his TV, table with all his stuff on it, his desk, bookshelves, whatever, anything that, you know, he adores and cherishes is in that room. And then off of that room is 3 doors. All the way at the end of that room is door number 1. That is our bedroom. And then door number 2 is my doll room. And door number 3 is my yarn room. So that is the setup of our house. I had this picture of Dakota and Carlton right here. And I had a picture of Elijah and Chastity right there, but I took that picture off to take a picture of that picture and do something else with it, and I just hadn't taped it back up yet because I have to go in there and remember to bring the tape back with me in here. So I just haven't taped that back up yet. When Chastity was here, she taped those up there for me. She helped me do that, and then I told her, but when that baby comes, y'all gone. Because it will be pictures of the baby right there. But anyway, I need to tape Elijah and Chastity's picture back up right here. I'm trying to put it up with a magnet, but these little carts aren't quite strong enough to hold a magnet. And then I have my drinks right here. And then my medications that I can just reach over here and get. So these are just like, you know, already set up for me. If I don't mess them up. But anyway, those are set up for me there. So I can just reach those and get my medication. And we try to make things like, you know, as easy as possible. And then on this side of me, I just have a bunch of junk. A notebook and an ink pen, some apple juice, a Jello, plastic spoon, blood pressure machine, my nebulizer, stuff like that. A book to read, a book to look at, my garbage can. I have a little garbage can on the table so that I can reach it. If it was on the floor around me, I would never be able to see it or reach it. So just trying to make things, you know, convenient. Okay guys, I got my nap out of the way and I'm up and going now. I tell you what, my morning meds just make me so sleepy. Like I cannot hold my eyes open after my morning meds. But I did get my little book put together last night. Big Daddy had already went to bed, and then I was like, oh, that ring. So I took it back there to him and got him to open that ring for me. And so now my pages are in here and they'll just turn. And yeah, so that's the page I was working on yesterday. You know, still gonna put that tree there and those flowers, and then I have something here. But today I was going to kind of work on this page up here, and then I'm also going to work on some things for the spring journal in just a little bit. But I was going to do this for a minute. I have this little girl that I want to put on there. It says, I paint flowers so they will not die. She's a Frida Kahlo girl. So I'm going to put her on here, but I want to put something behind her. So I'm going to come through here, and I was going to stamp some flowers, but I didn't have anything that looked right, I guess. And this particular one looked like the stamps, the flowers like facing the wrong way. But anyway, I'm figuring out something here. So I'm just drawing a flower. Whatever you do, it looks like a flower, you know? You just do something and you call it a flower. Oh, let's see. and just fill it in. I'm going to go back and I will put like a center in them. Sometimes you can do just dots. Depends on the marker you're using. This one is not great for just doing like, well, it would have worked, I guess. But I kind of wanted bigger flowers. But there's a small one there. And let's see, I can do one here. Sometimes I just put 5 or 6 dots and then put another color in the middle, and that works out. Alright, and I'm going to go back with this purple and try to add a center in some of these. Okay, there is something different about my thumb today, and I'm hoping that, I don't know, I'm hoping that this is kind of good news. I don't really know. But, so now my thumb, it's not throbbing as so bad up here. Like, that part has been just throbbing very badly and just super, super painful. And, well, I'm trying not to bump it because I know that it is going to hurt. But now the pain is more under the fingernail. So I don't know, is it good that this part's not throbbing as bad and the pain is more under the fingernail? I don't know. But it has changed some. But I don't really know what, if it's good, bad, or what. No pain is good. So I'm just doodling a few dots here. Just, just decorating it a little with some dots here and there. And that's probably good. I see another place I probably need to put a flower, so let me do that. Oh, needed some pink right there. Alright, and now I'm going to fussy cut around this. Just had it open, then I couldn't get it open. Alright. So this is supposed to just be a little background thing to go behind her. Whew, let me see if I can cut this paper smaller, because it's too big for me to handle as it is. Okay. Now, let's see if I can't cut it smaller. Now. I don't know. I'm just hoping that the medicine that he just put me on is going to, actually do something a little different with it. Because like I said, it's not throbbing so bad on the pad of the thumb like it has been. I mean, it's still painful to like touch that or to bump it, but it's not just throb, throb, throb. Now the pain is more under the fingernail. So I don't know. I'm just, hoping and praying that that difference there is something good. Right? So keep praying with me if you're a praying person. If you're not, still, you can send me them good thoughts and vibes and just think of me, Okay, let's see. Alright, I'm just kind of weaving my scissors around, And remember, I'm right-handed, cutting with my left hand. So I think I have improved a lot on that since I first started cutting with my left hand. I've improved a lot on that. It just took a lot of practice because, you know, it was real janky, worse than a kindergartner when I first started cutting with my left hand. So I've improved a lot. Okay, let me just see if that... See how fussy cut means that you still have a lot of white showing. You're just kind of cutting around it, dipping in at certain places and dipping back out. I sat in my chair last night. I had company. Zeke's mom came down and visited with me last night and brought her crochet. She don't get a lot of crochet time, and her crochet time is normally like when they have doctor visits, or maybe doctor visits, and she's, you know, in the waiting room. That's her crochet time. She's in that season of raising kids, you know. I mean, I went through that season too, where I didn't have much time to do anything except raise kids. And she does a fabulous job at raising her kids. I'm going to tell you, her and her husband both are just knocking it out of the park. Her kids are well-rounded. They're not sheltered to the point where they can't cope in society. You know, sometimes homeschoolers go that way. I was a homeschooler, so I know firsthand. There's extremes both ways. I tried to keep it in the middle. I don't know. I just tried my best. And I see this family doing their best, keeping it in the middle. Okay. I want to use, since, I don't know, I want to use my glue stick, but I have a feeling, where did my rag go? Oh, there it is. I try to keep this little rag. I just use it for art stuff. It's an old rag. It's bleached, got bleach spots on it, and I just use it for art stuff here. And every now and then it makes it to the washer. Usually when I do a good desk cleanup, I'll put it in the washer, and then it'll make its way back in here. Okay. Wait, somebody had a really good idea. Oh, a popsicle stick. To open this, dip a popsicle stick in it and do it. And I'm going to have to do that. But right now, I don't have a popsicle stick on me. I do have some. I do. But I've got to find them. Make sure I did have that on the back side. Because these alcohol markers do shine through a good bit. And this is on cardstock. It's not just paper, so... Okay, I just did a line down this, and I'm just going to kind of spread it out with, hopefully, a piece of cardstock from my trash can over here. Okay. I just reached in my trash can and found this piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to kind of brush it from there. But I am going to see about finding my popsicle sticks and try that idea. Thank you for that. And then somebody suggested the old school glue that has the brush. Now, I don't have that, so I'll have to look for that when I'm out and about again. Oh God. I'm trying to see how I'm going to do this. I need to spread glue to the edges in all directions. and down this way. And that is how I get glue all over my hands. It's gonna be okay though. I got soap and water. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to put her over this. It does cover up some of that. I knew it would, but I didn't know it was going to cover up two. But some shows. So anyway, I do want to just kind of put her there. So again, we need glue. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to make things easier for myself, right? And so I think the suggestions I had on this are great suggestions and something I'm definitely going to try to work on. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? You got plans? Y'all staying home? We are supposed to have rain. It is so hot here. Rain would cool us off some, but I mean, whew, we're hot. It's 84 right now. So anyway, it's supposed to rain, but before I knew it was going to rain, we made plans to go thrift shopping this weekend. Okay, I'll just be real honest with you. And, Big Daddy's brother, he does watch my channel a lot, and so if you're watching, Eric, hello, we love you, and we want to help you. So Eric has had, he reached rock bottom, and he has been in and out of recovery for a little while. And so right now he has been out for 5 months, and that's the longest that he has been out of recovery for a while. And so we are proud of him and proud of what he's doing for himself right now. You can't, when you're going through stuff like that, you can't do it for anybody else. You have to do it for yourself. And so that's what he's doing. He's working on himself, and we want to help him, and so we are going to go the thrift store shopping this weekend. He has lost everything he owns. He has lost everything, and I just want to say that Eric was once a very successful businessman, had a beautiful home full of lots and lots of antique furniture. He dressed to the T. And because of drugs, he's lost everything he's owned. And so he is without anything. And so we're going to go this weekend and try, well, we had made these plans that we're going to go this weekend and try to get him some clothes up. First of all, he needs clothes. And we're going to go and try to get him clothes to mail to him. He's at a halfway house right now, and he is working because halfway houses are expensive. I think about like $600 a month just to stay in one bedroom halfway house. No, a one bedroom. He's in one bedroom sharing that bedroom with other men. It's usually like 3 or 4 men to a bedroom. And so just for that bed, actually, it's about $600 a month. And so he is working, but that's what he's paying. And so anyway, we said, okay, this weekend we're going to go and try to round him up some clothes. and mail to him. And then I realized it's supposed to rain all weekend. But I hope that we can still get out and go do that, because that is a high priority that needs to be done ASAP so we can get some things in Eric's hands. So if you're watching, Eric, we're working on it, buddy. We love you and we're working on it. So that's what we had planned for this weekend, and I found out it was going to rain, so I don't know. Okay, so that's the next page in my journal. You know, I put this full moon because I saw that moon the other night. And I even did another moon recording that was a reddish moon one night. I'll see if I can pop that in here somewhere. But I'm just going to leave this open back here so it can dry. And I love that. Okay, well, I'm going to need my space here, probably. So I'm going to lay it over here to the side. I've got an avalanche waiting to happen next to me. If Sissy even starts in here, I'm going to have to get up and redirect her. Okay, so I'm going to work on some spring stencils. Things for my spring art journal. I need some Awesome Spring stencils here. These are by Megan Quillen on Etsy. I think if you just Google spring stencils, you're more than likely liable to stumble on these. But this is a castle and some birds up there. That is very fairy tale spring-like. Let's see what else I have. The moons. Love Moon Star, and it's 2 different sizes of the moon. I love moons and suns and leaves and people and houses and birds. And so, and this has some rabbits, and there are such cute rabbits. I've got to get these rabbits going. So I'm going to trace this rabbit out, and I am on watercolor paper. And so I'm going to probably watercolor these rabbits. And it's just like a silhouette, but then I can also stamp words. And so whenever me and Big Daddy was talking about going to some thrift stores and all, I was like, oh yes, I'm going to look for something to put these stamps on put them in on my desk, because I'm going to want those stamps on my desk at all times so I can reach for them at all times. Because like even in these rabbits, I could stamp words, you know, small words, but I could stamp words if I would choose to, you know. Everything doesn't have to have a word, but I love words. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to put this rabbit also. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it a little bit better, but let me just get some things traced on here so I have something to actually even show you when I hold it up. So, I love Megan's stamps. I mean, well, she does have a few stamps. I love her stencils. And as an artist, I really enjoy her work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just making sure I'm getting all this. And this foot I did not get correctly. I'm going to have to use the eraser in it. But I do love her style. It's very much kind of my style too. And I wish to goodness I had some of my old art journals to even show her, like, how much our style is alike. But I lost my stuff like that in the flood of 2016. I lost all my art journals and art supplies and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I had a few art supplies that have made it. They just were in a safer place or higher up, I guess, than a lot of the other stuff that I did lose. But anyway, I'm enjoying doing art again. I am. Hope I got all that. Yes. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. And Megan just has the cutest things. She does. She just has the cutest things in her stencils. Now, because I'm going to do watercolor, I'm not going to put that there. If I was doing that in alcohol marker, I could have, but watercolor might have just ran over and got on my rabbits when I wasn't ready for them to. So I'm going to do a few of these little hearts here because they're adorable, and it is folk art, and I paint folk art style. That's always kind of been my style, was kind of folk art, and her stencils are very much folk art also. Let's see, what else? Oh, we have this bird. I loved her bird. I love birds, and one thing I do like about stencils that you can't do with stamps is, oh my goodness, y'all. It wasn't Sissy's fault. But I gotta grab something. Sorry about that. I had to clean up a little avalanche that I had too many slick plastic things stacked on top of slick plastic things and created myself a little avalanche waiting to happen. Okay, I got it fixed. Whew, that took a lot out of me. Okay, back to my stenciling, and what I was going to say is, one thing about stencils that you cannot do with stamps, with stencils you can flip it and have the same object, go in the opposite direction. Just as I did with the rabbits, I can do that with this bird. But I am having trouble seeing I am having a little trouble seeing the stencil over here. Okay. But I got it done. Alright, and so I'm going to do another bird. Go in the other direction. And then I'll just have it for whenever I'm, working in my spring journal. If I put two on one page, they can go in opposite directions, or I can use them on different pages. Alright. That works. Yeah, so last night I had company, and I enjoyed that very much. She brought down her crochet, and what I was going to say is I took my stuff in there that I'm working on cutting out. I took that in there and sat and cut in my chair, and she sat over on the love seat and worked on her blanket that she's making. And so we just had a very, nice talk. We talked about everything under the sun, from, the children and families and plans for the summer, and, all that kind of stuff. I always enjoy talking with her. I think I could have just kind of drew this one out by hand. Okay, that's good. And I might go over that. I'm going to go ahead and flip it and do it the other direction so it can go on a different page. Because, yeah. And then I might do this one in alcohol markers so I can get this limb, the tree branches and all that, you know. And the little leaves. Small things I do have trouble doing with watercolors, paints. Maybe I got it all. Yep. Okay, so I think I get everything on this one. I could do something else in the middle, and I might just do this rabbit right here, because that is such a cute rabbit. Megan does do some really cute stencils. Every, season she puts out new stencils. And they are usually just the cutest. Always. Just very, very cute. I think I can get one more rabbit right here that's leaping. Because who wouldn't want a leaping rabbit? It is springtime, so, there's going to be baby rabbits everywhere out here. One time, Dakota and I were sitting on the couch watching Lost. That tells you back when that was. We were, like, marathoning up some Lost, I think a new season had come out and we were binge watching. Elijah was running around playing outside. He was probably about 5 or 6. He was in and out of the house running around. He ran in the house and grabbed something, run back out of the house, things little boys typically do. And we're just sitting there, and then he comes in. He comes running in the house, and he has a Walmart bag, and that bag is just shaking everywhere. It is just going crazy. And I was like, what have you got? And he said, I caught a rabbit. I caught a rabbit. And, he went out there and caught a rabbit. A wild rabbit. I'm like, how in the world did he, as wild as he is, catch a wild rabbit? But he did, and so he played with it for a little bit and observed it and all that, and then we let it go. We did not keep wild animals from the wild. We would observe them and then do a release. And so that's what he did. But yeah, that booger. Went out there and caught a wild rabbit. Okay, these moons, I'm going to do this. These are half moons. They're like crescent moons or whatever. So I'm going to do the same thing with them. Trace them and flip them. Okay. That one's going to need a little erasing. Oh yeah, I was going to show you a close-up of this other one. I'm sorry. I think I was going to do them all at the end, but you might want to see that. Here I have these two rabbits. I flipped it and did it the other way. The leaping rabbits, a few hearts. The birds. I do like that bird. It's a nice, nice bird. Then we have a bird on the branch, and I, flipped it, and I did two extra of the rabbits, and they're all going the same way. If I want to put them on the, same spread, there's one up and there's one jumping. I love that. I always love Megan's ideas. Okay, so this is the moon. And he would have a face, so. But I'm going to flip this. I might come down here. Let's see. Let me see where I can fit this in, because I always like to try to get as much on a page as I can. Oops, let me see. Alright, so now I have the moons go in the opposite direction too. And then there's just some words. I'm not going to trace those out or anything. Or I could and just do them in block letters if I wanted them bigger than my stamps. So did I say that when I go thrift shopping, I'm going to look for some kind of little canister that I can put those in. Afraid I'm not holding this in the best way. I definitely can't see it. Love, and then I could do I'm not going to do that. I was going to go ahead and just trace them and then go over them with a marker and then just cut out the block. But I think I'd just rather use those stamps. Okay, so where's my finished pile? Put those over there. Now, is there enough room to do this? No. So I'm going to save that piece of paper and add something else to it and get a clean sheet and do these castles. I love the castles. I love the idea of the castles. And the thing about it, I could do these castles a bunch of times and do them a different color every time. And I can watercolor paint them. I could alcohol marker them, but probably not. I think watercolor paint in metallic would be probably the most fun to see these done in that. Oh, there's a flag. It's really hard to do this with a bummed up thumb. Okay, and then this castle. I doubt these would go on the same page together. Maybe the same spread, but, opposite sides. I'm not sure what all those little bumps are about. Okay. I may have to do a little erasing and touch up on those, but what else is on here? There's a little bitty bird. Was there space over there? There is some right here where I can do this little bird, and I can probably do it multiple times right here. Definitely want to get it going in both directions. Yeah, I'm not doing too good of a job doing that without hurting myself. Okay. Got it going in two different directions for sure. And then there are some stars up there, but they're really too little to stencil, and you could just use them straight onto a page, which could possibly happen. We'll just see. Okay, and then there are some new frames. And these frames, let me see if I can show you what they look like. There's different ones. You could draw something in the middle. You could put some kind of another cutout, you know, picture or head or something, a sticker, whatever. Or you could stamp words or write words. Lots of things could be done. But I'm going to try to just get this in over here and trace this off. And again, these could be done in watercolor or acrylic marker. I think I would just go around these with acrylic marker probably, because that's too small to try to watercolor, if you want my opinion. Some people probably is, you know, fine doing that, but for me, well, I'll be honest with you, I can't really see the stencil. I'm trying. I'm trying. I don't know, I'll see what I can do to fix that up later, but what else have I got? A couple more. This one has that folk heart. So I'm just going to do that one a few times, get that heart on here. And these hearts, you could write in them write, you know, something, a quote, or stamp in them. A quote or something. So that would be nice. I'm not happy with the way my little thing come out, but I might can make it look better when I do it with the watercolor markers. I mean, not watercolor markers. Alcohol markers. I think I can make that look better. Okay, so over here, I'm going to try to get some of these frames done, traced out over here. I love stencils and I love stamps. And I love being able to just use them to create art. Now, back in my day when I did stuff in the art community here in my town, I didn't use stamps or stencils. Well, in some of my mixed media, I might have used some stamps. I'll take that back. But mostly it was just acrylic painting on canvases. That was my art. I think I've got it all. Oh no, I missed one over here. But I am finding a love of them now. And I am loving them. I'm loving them, and I'm so glad I discovered them. And I'm getting to use them and have fun with them. Oh, and I have something else that I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to back up to January. I just thought of this last night. When I'm in there wishing that I was in here, when I'm in my chair in there, I'm wishing I was in here. And I was thinking of something, and I really wanted to get up and do it, but I really needed to get some sleep. So I'm going to start that. I'm going to do a video of it. So, alright, so I got 2 frames there, kind of traced out, and then I could go back and stamp a quote in there. Because y'all did leave me some quotes in that other video, yesterday's video. I asked for some spring quotes or words and stuff, and if you didn't, you can go ahead and leave something on this video, because I will be needing some things to stamp out. And this one is really nice looking. It's bigger too. And you know, I have drawn these same things out and watercolor painted them on video with you guys. Some circles and ovals and rectangles and all. You know, I've been doing that. Cut some of them out last night while I was sitting there visiting with my friend Erica. Definitely gonna need to go back with my eraser and clean this up a bit. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I can clean it up. And these are all nice thick watercolor paper. The only trouble with that being on the nice thick watercolor paper is that it is thick, and therefore it ends up being kind of hard for me to cut out. So I do have to be careful with that. Alright, I'm going to do the sun. I don't really want these pencil lines, but behind my... I have to think of a different way to do this. The pencil lines will show through the alcohol marker or watercolor paint. So I probably should have just left that off and did it on my own. But alright, well, I have some little frames done, and so I'm going to cut those out, watercolor paint them, or whatever it is I need to do to them, and use those in my art journal. So that's a coming. But yeah, tell me your plans for the weekend. I hope it doesn't rain all weekend here. But it's looking like on the weather that they're saying lots of rain, which they could change that at any moment. The weather changes so fast, you know. They'll say one thing and 30 minutes later they've already changed it to say something different. That's going to need a lot of fixing up. Oh, definitely. But I'm going to stencil out some more of these. I'll have to get that where I can see it better, though. I'm going to stencil out some more of these, and just so that I have them all drawn out at the same time. And then I can, you know, color them all and cut them all out at the same time. And then when I'm working in my spring journal, I have these to look at and, you know, to add to pages and things. So, do you plan on doing crafting this weekend? Tell me those things that you have planned. I want to know. Inquiry minds want to know. Alright guys, I'm going to let you all get going. Remember, it's a beautiful day to craft and enjoy your life. Do something today that makes you happy. Whew, I'm bad at that. That is just too small for my hands. But it's okay. But look guys, I will see y'all in the next video. Love you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.